Hi, I'm Kim Fuller, owner and founder of Fuller Life Concepts, where I help you stay accountable to your goals and actually remove the barriers so that you can reach them finally, right? And the reason in which we don't reach our goals, I think, is because we have a little demon going on. That self-talk, the internal beliefs that we got from our family of origin, our religion, our experiences, and most importantly, our traumas. And when I say trauma, the first thing that people usually think about is child abuse, neglect, domestic violence, something like that. But what if? What if it's something that's not quite as obvious? Our body reacts to trauma in the same way, whether it was inflicted upon us or something that happened by accident. Our bodies go through the fight, flight, freeze anyway. It pumps the adrenaline through our bodies. It does whatever it can to keep us from re-experiencing that. Sometimes that means ignoring, turning away, pretending, putting the mask on like everything's okay. I know I've been guilty of that, accused of that, and working on that. And I want you to work on that with me so that you can use some of the information to remove the barriers so you can get to your goals. And so I want to expand the definition of trauma a little bit by telling you a very brief story and then challenging you to look into your own life to see whether or not your experiences are actually traumas, meaning do they actually trigger you to say something about yourself that's negative. So when I was working as a director, I had a supervisor who had an expectation of the staff members all being somewhere. And it was kind of late notice, and I thought I was doing a good job. I got some of the staff to show up. She wasn't very happy with that. And what did she do? She yelled at me in front of my peers about how I hadn't gotten all the staff, there, and I should have made it mandatory. And you know what that did? That triggered inside of me that, ooh, I'm not good enough for this job. I'm not doing a good job in this job. That kind of reaction. To the point where I was mute. I froze. That was my traumatic reaction, was I just froze and just stood there listening to her. And later on moved on and talked about it and realized that that was traumatic for me. Meaning that my own beliefs about myself and my worth within that company was triggered, which caused me to feel like she reinforced the belief that I didn't feel like I was good enough. So that in and of itself is a traumatic experience because it triggers a belief system. And you go along with that. It's not like I was like, I don't know why you're yelling at me. Those people didn't want to come anyway. That could have been a reaction. Or could have been like, oh, I misunderstood. I thought I was doing a good job by getting a few people here. Could have been a reaction. Instead, what was I? So that is an emotional trauma. Meaning no harm came to me physically, and however, it still was something that impacted how I interacted in my environment and how I thought about who I am. How many of those emotional traumas do you have, specifically from employers, from bosses, from coworkers, at work, that are keeping you stuck in your job and keeping you not believing that you can do more, be more, have more, experience better? Think about some of those because awareness is the first step to healing. So I'm Kim Fuller with Fuller Life Concepts, and I know it's a challenging homework assignment, but I really encourage you to do it. It helps you to what? Begin to remove all of the barriers so that you can take risks and get your goals accomplished finally. Okay, see you next week. Bye.